Hi everyone, Happy New Year! Here we are in 2018, I can't believe it. So we're continuing this year with our video updates of council meetings and just items of interest that you might be interested in. So I'll get cracking and hopefully you find the information useful of stuff that's happening around Gawler. So let's get started. So first of all, I'd like to talk about Tuesday night's council meeting, which was last night, the 23rd of January. That was our first ordinary council meeting for the year. And so I'll just go through some of the items up for discussion last night. The first item that we talked about and we noted was the 2017 achievements of the town of Gawler. So in the last couple of years, the administration have put together a presentation of all the work and all the achievements that has occurred throughout that year, and it's a really good opportunity to celebrate the work that local government does, in particular the town of Gawler. So I'll just go through some highlights of that particular presentation, and you can hopefully you'll appreciate just some of all the work that goes into delivering local government in our area. So the Aquatic Feasibility study, that's a really exciting thing as a policy document. However, this is a really important piece of work. The Aquatic Centre is getting up in age. It's a wonderful, beautiful facility, but we need to look at how we go forward and how we might develop that over time. So we've done a feasibility study that was done pretty much this time last year and presented to council, and that looks at what we could be doing on that site. So that was a fairly big piece of work that we discussed pretty early in 2017. Council, of course, has either put on or supported different events. So, of course, our Fringe event, and we all know the Fringe is coming up and the program's just been announced for 2018. So Gawler is very much part of Fringe 2018, and indeed 2017 we had a really successful Fringe event at Walker Place. So come along when that comes up again in a few weeks in February. So we also supported some events, like I said, the Goalless Show in particular. Every year it's a fabulous event run by volunteers, but council helps support that through getting the site ready and other support mechanisms. So well done to Gawler Council for providing such wonderful support to a really important event in Gawler, which is the Goalless Show. Youth development. Our youth portfolio is getting bigger every year, although we still only have one very hard working youth officer in Ebony Stedman, and certainly we had a leadership program for our YAC members. We had Youth Week, of course. We had the Christmas card competition for the first time last year, and that over 200 entries for that, and that was really successful. Got really good feedback on that initiative. The Youth Summit, I was really pleased to be able to attend the Youth Summit last year for both primary school students and secondary school. Lots of young leaders. Our future's in a really good place with the kids that are coming through our town. So that was a fabulous summit with lots of ideas, and we can certainly build on those ideas and put them into practice, which is what that summit was all about. And also we did a skate park competition at our skate precinct or youth precinct up at Conley Park, which is being used all the time by both young and old, which is great. The Gawler Home Assist program, did you know that we help over 600 residents stay in their own homes, and we provide critical services for people to be able to stay independent in their own homes, and that's a fabulous service that council provides, which is also, of course, funded through federal government funding, which is very much appreciated. Our library service was run out of Evanston Gardens Library last year, and will continue throughout the redevelopment of the library in the main street, and that was a really smooth transition, and every time I go over there, which is probably not enough, I need to get over there more often, it's really buzzing with lots of activities and lots of people benefiting from our library service. The graffiti team, we all love the graffiti team. The graffiti team, which is effectively volunteers going around our town, removing unsightly graffiti and ensuring that our town looks fantastic all of the time. So they're a fabulous group of volunteers who do really important work and coordinated by Sheila Willocks in the town of Gawler. Fantastic stuff. Our planning department, a lot of I think our planning applications are now online. Saving of over $19,000. Lots of work for our planners at the moment as Gawler grows, with over 1,300 inquiries last year. So they're being kept busy by the success that is Gawler. And again, lots of policy work over 2017, which, as I said before, can be a bit boring, but you've got to do it, don't you? When you strategically plan for things, you've got to have your updated policy documents. So there was a lot of policy work done in the town of Gawler last year. Fire safety and bushfire planning, and as you know, we've had a few bushfires in the last few years around our district, and in the town of Gawler we need to be ready as well. And even though we're a peri-urban community, we're not immune to being at risk of bushfire and being ready for that. So there were over 2,000 site inspections in the town of Gawler last year, and that ensures that our community, as I said, is bushfire ready, but also looking at minimising that flammable undergrowth and that making sure that's controlled. So we're ready, and we've got a better community as a result. So lots of work in that area. We had a puppy competition last year. Did you know that? There you go. You know that now. Puppy competition and a microchip day. So looking at all our little fur babies and making sure they're ready and making sure they're all gorgeous too, because why wouldn't you want to put your puppy in a competition? So I was really pleased to see that. We had a blitz on unsightly properties last year, and that's been really successful, and that work needs to continue to ensure that we don't get into a situation where people's properties get out of control. So we work with our property owners, our residents, to just to make sure that things are under control and they're coping with how they're managing their property. So it's a sensitive piece of work, but you can get some really good outcomes when you work together. So that I think is a great achievement for the town of Gawler. We had also the work done on our new bike hub in Pioneer Park. Go and check it out. It's really good. We've got a new deck. We've got end of bike facilities like showering, like a bike fixing thing that I couldn't quite work, but it's got lots of I can't think of the word. Lots of implements to fix your bikes. You can see that I don't really fix my bike, but it's a great little initiative and addition to our town, and I think that with cycling tourism being the way it is, let's bring a heap of cyclists into our town and really get them to spend all their money that they have, because they've got really expensive bikes, and obviously we need some of that money in our town. So come on, cyclists, come into Gawler, check out the bike hub, and contribute to our economic development. I reckon that'd be pretty good. And finally, with our achievements, and I could go on because you can see just how much work the town of Gawler is doing, and I think it's really important to be able to celebrate that. Our marketing and communications team do a lot of work with our website, with our marketing brochures, our policy documents. That work's ongoing. It's often hidden and behind the scenes, but it's really important to make everything look fantastic. So well done to the marketing and communications team. So back to the council agenda and discussion. We had an update on our Fund My Neighbourhood project process that's going on. We had nearly $1 million come into this community from the state government. Thank you very much. But also from the community, our community members putting up ideas and saying, hey, let's have a crack and see if we can get some money. So some of those projects include the grandstand redevelopment at Gawler Oval, which was put up by Gawler Central Sporting Club, and hopefully there'll be some value add opportunities through council and the club working together to really get a good outcome in that area. The BMX pump track, there's going to be a new little pump track up at Williston Oval, and I think that's a good addition, so well done there. And of course the dog park and outdoor fitness equipment initiative that was put in by a private resident of Williston, fantastic initiative, well done to that that resident. You know who you are, and I think you've really contributed to our town, so thank you. And I look forward to seeing all those things up and running within the next 12 months, hopefully. A lot of work, but all good stuff. We had an item that came up in regard to a letter that I've received from Andrew Dickinson, who's the principal of our wonderful Gawler and District College, and they've, as you would know, received quite a bit of money from the state government to upgrade some of their facilities. So they've asked the question of Gawler Council, is there an opportunity to partner with shared facilities? So we're going to start the conversation with them. I think it's really a great, exciting initiative to really back our public education, but our education in general, and look for opportunities of partnership. So that's a basic beginning stage at the moment, so we'll see where that goes. So that's really fantastic that Council endorsed that. We announced that Mr. Peter Brass is our new chair of our Audit Committee. Peter has been an independent member of our Audit Committee for quite some time, and he has been the previous chair, so I'd like to formally congratulate Peter. He's a great, wise head that comes in and gives us advice without fear or favour, which is what independent members should be doing. So well done, Peter, on being chair again for the next 2 years. Council is currently in a process called a Joint Planning Board pilot project, which is working together with our neighbouring councils, namely Barossa, Light and Adelaide Plains, looking at developing a joint, hopefully a regional planning board into the future. So working together in partnership and looking at the efficiencies and savings that we can achieve through working through this planning process. The new Act, the new changes in legislation as it relates to planning means we have an opportunity to work more effectively as a region. So this pilot project, which we've put our hand up and we're a part of, will be quite an intensive process, but I think we'll get some good outcomes as a community as a result. So again, work in progress in that regard. We had some recommendations from one of our committees, the Gawler Heritage Collection Committee. The Gawler Heritage Collection Committee has been set up to provide advice to Council as it relates to the Gawler Heritage Collection. So as some of you might know, we have an amazing heritage collection in this town, and we're also doing a redevelopment in the main street for the Institute and Town Hall called the Gawler Civic Centre, and the Heritage Collection and the resulting Cultural Heritage Centre will be an absolute beacon for the region as it relates to cultural heritage. So the committee helps make that happen and provide advice to Council, as I said. So they provided a couple of fairly straightforward recommendations, one of which was saying thank you to Council to setting up a site visit of the redevelopment site for the committee members, specifically around those areas that will be dedicated to heritage, and they are a new gallery space, which is the old council chambers, a research centre down in the basement of the institute, the archives area where the collection itself will be housed, the reading room, an original library, the original library space, which we're calling the ante room. Currently, or previously when the old library was open, that was where the periodicals were housed, but that will be returned to, I guess, its original configuration with bookcases and of course the heritage books, and it'll be a beautiful entranceway into our reading room when it's reopened, so I can't wait to see that when it's open. We'd also like to welcome Jacinta Weiss, who's our new cultural Heritage Centre Coordinator. That's her title, and she's brand new into the organisation. She comes with really good credentials, so welcome, Jacinta. Can't wait to see what you're going to do, and I know you're really excited because I've had a chat with you and about what you're going to be doing when the role's up and running. So well done and congratulations. So that's the council meeting. I'd like to just spend a little bit of time talking about the special council meeting we had last week, which was of course on the 18th of January. That was specifically to discuss the Gawler East Link Road, which of course is this very important piece of infrastructure that's coming into our town, not without its challenges, and certainly something that Council has been discussing over a long period of time. We had a first look at the reference design that the Department of Planning, Transport and Infrastructure has been working on. Of course, they're the project lead, and we got to have a look at that reference design. We had a number of presentations from members of the community that have concerns around where the road goes at the Carlton Road end, and certainly there were questions asked, and I must say department representatives were really fantastic in their responses. We were provided with a fabulous presentation from the department. I'd like to congratulate them for that, and it really has enabled us to get our heads around this very difficult and complex matter. But we're coming to the pointy end of discussions, and action is going to be taken when it starts getting built later in the year. So this reference design matter will come back. On the 7th of February, we'll be having another special council meeting here at council to discuss the matter again. You're more than welcome to come along. It's a public meeting. Please come along if you feel you need to, if you just want to listen and find out what's going on. And we will be asked to make a decision around this reference design so the matter can proceed, and we can go out to construct and design this brand new road. So that's the council update for this month. I'd like to just make a final, plug for Australia Day breakfast this Friday. Ours is going ahead. I know there's been some concern that there might be some events cancelled because of the weather. Ours will be going ahead. It starts at 7 o'clock in the morning. Get there bright and early. Apex Park. In Julian Terrace, we have a giant lamington that's being built, I'm sure, by I don't know when they start building it, but I don't know how they do it, but obviously they sort of stick it all together. But I can't wait to see how big this lamington is, and that's being cooked and provided for us by Gawler South Bakery. We'll have community awards. Our Australia Day ambassador is of course Dr. Sandra Marshall, who is a fabulous community member, local GP, and of course has driven and advocated for dyslexia across not only South Australia but nationally as well. So she's a pretty impressive individual. So Sandra will be speaking with us on Friday. And we have our citizenship ceremony. We have a yummy breakfast, so please come and join us and come up and say good day. Thank you everyone, and have a great day.